All right, so I'm gonna try this out. I'm recording on the Xbox in 5 minute sections, and I'm just gonna continue to do a recording on my phone while I'm playing. Um, gonna be playing some War Thunder, trying this out, see how it goes. I'm gonna talk as much as I can. This is my first time ever recording myself as I'm playing. So if you guys have any suggestions of how to do this, I would appreciate it. If you enjoy it, let me know. And here we go. So I'm sticking with right now the German side of things. Um, the reason I like the German planes on here is they are just kind of classic World War II planes. Flying with the Do-17, He-111, Bf-109, and the Ju-87 in the cannon arrangement for it. If you don't know anything about these planes, there are two fighters on there and two bombers on there. The Ju-87 was a dive bomber. They're commonly known as the Stuka. They had those annoying little whistles or not bells, sirens on them. So as they were diving, they would kind of give a scary warning to ground troops that they had an attack incoming. The canon version didn't have that. They started phasing those out further into the war. It actually started annoying the pilots as well because they're the origination of those noises. So it got annoying to them anytime that they were on dive that they would have those sirens going. So the canon version didn't have that. It was definitely more of a ground attack. In War Thunder, a lot of people use those cannons to try to shoot down other planes too. You only have a limited amount of ammo. But the other German planes, the He-111, very common frontline bomber. It had a pretty decent payload, pretty well modeled on this game as well. But yeah, I've always wanted to try to start recording myself while playing, and finally just kind of went about doing it. I hope the sound is decent. It is, like I said, on my phone, so I don't know if it's going to be carrying over well. I don't have a mic set up or anything like that. And I do have a few dogs in the room that you might see me try to chuck a toy at one of them to keep them out of the way. But we will see how this goes. And I'll have to splice together stuff as we go. As I'm talking right now, I'm flying the Stuka. Not doing terribly hot with it, but with the Stuka, it did have a backseat gunner, if you would like to call it that. All the Stuka fighters did have that, or bombers did have that backseat gunner to try to fend off any rear attacks from the plane. In War Thunder, you're able to. Oh, there goes my controller. Thankfully, I was prepped for this. In War Thunder, you're able to upgrade your crew levels and try to get your gunners to be better, have more health or what have you on that. Whether that's the best representation of how crews were trained, I don't know, but it's a good progression within the game. So switching over now, and let me see if I can get that recorded. So like I said, bear with me. This will be an interesting way of doing things. I'm going to use the options I have with Xbox before investing in any kind of video card or anything that I can just straight pull it from my console to a computer. Like I said, I'm just trying this out, seeing if it is a viable option to put everything together and get it up onto YouTube. So now flying into the He-111. This bomber was in this in War Thunder. It is pretty much the first big frontline bomber that you get for Germany. It was, I think, developed pre-war for them. Had a fairly decent amount of armaments on it. Decent payload as well. the setup I've got right now is just 8 250 kilogram bombs. Of course, that full weight is not all explosive. The actual weight of the bomb was 250 kilos. The TNT weight within it was half of that at 125 kilos. So decent blast radius that you're going to be getting. The reason I throw that out there is just in case you are playing this game. I just got shot down. Just in case you are playing this game, there are, at higher levels, base bombing, and you level up some planes by getting TNT equivalent base bombings. So if you're going to be throwing out any bombs and wondering why you're not getting 1 ton of base bombing when you're throwing a 1 ton bomb down, it's because that TNT equivalent isn't there. You just have to go off of what the actual amount of TNT in the bomb is. So the full weight of the bomb doesn't count. Going to continue on with the 109 here. A mainline fighter for the Germans during World War II. They had a lot of different variations for it. This variant had just 2 machine guns. Still did some decent work. Tricky thing for me right now is I'm flying on the controller because I play with the Xbox. And a lot of people, because War Thunder is cross-platform, play on the PC or have joystick setups, and they're a lot more adept at flying than I am. I've been trying to tinker a lot. That was not good. Tinker around a lot with my control setup to see if I'm able to get a control configuration that I like. Control configuration, there we go. That I like, where the response is there on the planes, but it's not so picky that just by moving the joysticks just a little bit, I'm flipping one way or the other. You gotta kind of figure out your dead zone on the controllers and everything, versus I actually used to play this on PC, and so when you're moving the mouse around, you can do the mouse aim version, which helps moderate your movement. It's not so extreme. And we're back into the game now. I'm in the Ju-87. This was a fighter interceptor, kind of heavy fighter plane that the Germans had. It was based on a bomber. So this version in the game gives you a cannon, a few machine guns, gives you some bombs as well. But because it is a bomber, within this game, if you're doing the arcade stuff, it actually reloads. So to imitate the fact that it's a fighter primarily, the bombs that you get don't regenerate quickly like they would on a bomber. But that was the whole game for me. I'm gonna see if I can snag the last, heck, it wasn't even that much, last minute. And then I'll probably grab a screenshot here as well. Like I said, I'm still just trying to figure out exactly what I'm wanting to do with this, and I'm just gonna talk now and probably throw this over the screenshot. So what I would like to do with this channel is I would like to teach history in a way that I craved history being taught. All right, starting over on that, but I'm gonna leave it in. I want to teach history in a way that I crave history being taught in high school, which is kind of more of a hands-on, but not so much hands-on. So if you think of anyone that you talk to who plays Call of Duty or any of those games, they can tell you weapon specs off the top of their head. They can go through and figure out where weapons are at, and they know a good amount of history within that game just from playing it. But when you're teaching something in the classroom and you're going off a book, it's difficult to actually teach what interests people. I know I'm not going to be able to cover all of world history through video games, but I think it is a good way to latch onto information and figure out how you want to learn a specific topic. So that's my goal with this channel. There's going to be a lot of video games that have a ton of history in them that I'm going to try to go through. War Thunder's just the easiest one for me. I'm a massive World War II addict for any amount of information, and this game portrays that very well. And they continue to add more planes, tanks, and warships from later eras as well, and they even catch a little bit of the before the interwar period for some of those planes that were made prior to World War II, but after World War One, and they cover it very well. It's your entry level planes for and tanks and warships for this game. But even games like Assassin's Creed, they portray a lot of history, whether it's very fantastical or not. There is still a lot of good history to actually wander around old cities from an era that we are not currently living in. And then if all goes to plan, I'm just going to be playing through games. I'll be doing playthroughs. I have a massive library of games that I was ambitious about playing, and I have probably a good 50 games I have not actually played through that are in my library right now. So they might be old games I'm going to be playing through, but it'll be the first time that I'm playing through them. And if it's the first time that someone else is playing through it, or you wanted to see if it was going to be a game that you wanted to play at some point in the future, I think that's a good option for you. Lumi just made a horrendous noise, and I'll see if that got onto the video. But yeah, that's my goal with this channel. I'll see what I can do as far as if you guys have any suggestions about things to do with setup, with video cards, with different games that you want to see me play. I am also going to try to not just do video game history. I do like to get out and actually see some physical history that's in the area as well, whether it's on trips or just in my local area. I'm currently just south of the Black Hills in the Nebraska side of things. So there's a little bit of history around me where I'm going to try to get out and see what I can find in my area, and then on bigger trips try to do that as well. Love to travel, so that's something I want to incorporate with this. And it's something that's able to be done by anyone. You can always go around your own area and see what you have to explore. There's a ton of history around everyone. And while I'm on the U.S. perspective of this, we have a young nation. There's still prehistoric stuff within the nation. So there might be international stuff in the future too, if I can continue doing this. So that's kind of the gist of it. Again, let me know what you guys think. I'll be patient with my video editing skills. This is going to be a work in progress. It'll hopefully get better as I go. Hopefully I will have better audio quality as I go. Hopefully I'll have better video quality and syncing everything up. Like I said, be patient with me. Be patient with the audio. Be patient with the fact that I'll have dogs playing in the background. I'll have them passing by. You might hear traffic noise from the street. And just let me know what you guys think. Feedback is the best way for me to improve what I'm doing. It's the best way for me to learn, and that's why I'm doing this. I want to learn how to do this. I want to learn how to not just entertain but also teach. See what kind of ways I can do that. So that's it for the first video, guys. Again, let me know. Drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you so choose. I would greatly appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time.